There comes a moment in life when everything changes, not because the world suddenly becomes different, but because you finally see it clearly. This moment often arrives quietly. It does not come with applause or warning. It comes through pain, failure, loss, rejection, or deep exhaustion. One day you wake up and realize that the way you have been living, thinking, and expecting is no longer working. That is when the first life lesson begins to reshape you from the inside. One of the most important truths you will ever learn is that life is not fair, and it was never designed to be. Many people spend years frustrated, angry, and bitter because they believe life owes them something. They believe that working hard guarantees success, that being kind guarantees loyalty, and that doing the right thing guarantees good outcomes. When reality does not match these expectations, they feel cheated. But maturity begins when you accept that fairness is not a rule of life. It is a hope. And when you release that hope, you gain power. Accepting that life is unfair does not mean becoming cold or negative. It means becoming realistic. It means understanding that setbacks are not personal attacks and obstacles are not signs to quit. They are part of the process. Once you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? Your mindset shifts. You move from resistance to growth, from frustration to strategy. Another lesson that changes you forever is realizing that no one is coming to rescue you. As a child, someone else handled your problems. As an adult, waiting for someone to save you keeps you stuck. Waiting for motivation, validation, support, or perfect timing delays your progress. The day you fully accept responsibility for your life is the day you begin to take control of it. Taking responsibility does not mean blaming yourself for everything that went wrong. It means acknowledging that from this moment forward, your choices matter, your habits matter, your discipline matters. You understand that even if you did not choose your past, you can choose your response to it. That realization is both heavy and freeing. Heavy because there are no excuses left. Freeing because your future is no longer in someone else's hands. When you learn these lessons, problems stop feeling like curses and start feeling like training. You become stronger because you stop relying on luck and start building resilience. You stop waiting for conditions to improve and start improving yourself. Slowly, you realize that hardship is not here to break you. It is here to strip away illusions, strengthen your character, and push you toward the person you are capable of becoming. This is where transformation truly begins. One of the most difficult but life-changing lessons you will ever learn is that people will disappoint you. No matter how kind you are, no matter how loyal you remain, no matter how much effort you put in, at some point, someone you trust will let you down. This realization hurts deeply, especially when you expect others to treat you the way you treat them. But understanding this truth is not meant to harden your heart. It is meant to free you from unrealistic expectations. People act from their own level of awareness. They see the world through their own wounds, fears, and limitations. When someone fails to show up for you, it is often not because you are unworthy, but because they are incapable. Once you understand this, you stop internalizing every disappointment. You stop asking what is wrong with you and start recognizing what is happening within them. This shift alone brings emotional relief. Another powerful lesson is learning that not everyone who starts the journey with you is meant to finish it. Some people are seasonal. They enter your life to teach you something, to challenge you, or to reveal a truth you were not ready to see before. Holding on to people who no longer align with your growth creates unnecessary suffering. Letting go feels painful at first, but over time, it creates space for peace and clarity. This lesson teaches you the importance of boundaries. You learn that saying no is not selfish. Protecting your energy is not rude. Choosing your mental and emotional well-being is not weakness. You stop over-explaining yourself. You stop chasing people who do not choose you. You understand that respect starts with how you treat yourself. As you grow, you also realize that loneliness is not the same as being alone. Being surrounded by the wrong people can make you feel empty, anxious, and unseen. But being alone, when chosen intentionally, can become a powerful period of self-discovery. In solitude, you reconnect with your values. You hear your own thoughts clearly. You begin to understand what you truly want, not what others expect from you. This lesson also changes how you love. You stop loving from a place of fear. You stop attaching your self-worth to how someone else treats you. Instead, you love with awareness. You give without losing yourself. You care without sacrificing your peace. Once you learn this, your relationships become healthier and more balanced. You choose quality over quantity. You value honesty over comfort. And you understand that walking away from what no longer serves you is not failure. It is growth. One of the most powerful life lessons you will ever learn is that your mind is shaping your life every single day, whether you are aware of it or not. The thoughts you repeat, the beliefs you hold, and the words you speak to yourself quietly become the foundation of your reality. Many people live on autopilot, allowing negative thoughts to run their lives without ever questioning them. Once you become aware of this, you realize that changing your life begins with changing your inner world. Your inner voice matters more than any external opinion. If you constantly criticize yourself, doubt your abilities, or replay past failures, you train your mind to expect defeat. Over time, this becomes a self-fulfilling cycle. But when you begin to speak to yourself with intention, patience, and belief, something shifts. Confidence is not pretending to be strong. It is slowly building trust with yourself through consistent action. This is where discipline becomes more important than motivation. Motivation is emotional and temporary. It comes when you feel inspired and disappears when things get hard. Discipline, on the other hand, shows up even when you do not feel ready. Every time you follow through on a small promise to yourself, your self-respect grows. You begin to see yourself as someone who can be relied upon. That self-trust becomes the foundation of real confidence. Another lesson that transforms you is understanding the true role of failure. Failure is not proof that you are incapable. It is proof that you are trying. Every mistake teaches you something valuable, even if the lesson is uncomfortable. When you stop fearing failure, you stop avoiding challenges. You take more risks. You learn faster. You grow stronger. Most people never succeed, not because they lack ability, but because they are afraid to fail publicly or start imperfectly. As this mindset develops, your need for approval fades. You stop measuring your worth by likes, praise, or validation from others. You realize that comparison is a distraction. Everyone is on a different path, with different struggles, timing, and responsibilities. Comparing your journey to someone else's only steals your focus and energy. You begin to define success on your own terms. Progress becomes more important than perfection. Consistency becomes more important than speed. You stop rushing and start aligning. Instead of chasing attention, you build substance. Instead of proving yourself to the world, you work on becoming better for yourself. This lesson creates inner peace. You become less reactive and more intentional. You move with purpose instead of pressure. And once your mind is aligned with growth instead of fear, your actions follow naturally. From that point forward, you are no longer fighting yourself. You are finally working with yourself. One of the most sobering and transformative life lessons you will ever learn is that time is your most valuable resource. It is the one thing you cannot save, borrow, pause, or earn back. Every day, whether you are aware of it or not, time is being spent. Once you truly understand this, your priorities begin to change. You stop treating days casually and start seeing them as opportunities that will never return in the same form again. Many people live as if they have unlimited time. They delay their dreams, postpone their healing, and put their happiness on hold for a future moment that is never guaranteed. Learning the value of time wakes you up. You realize that waiting for perfect conditions is one of the biggest ways people waste their lives. Growth rarely happens when everything feels comfortable. It happens when you decide to act despite uncertainty and fear. This lesson also teaches you to be more present. You stop replaying the past or constantly worrying about the future. You understand that the only moment you can influence is now. Being present allows you to appreciate simple things, protect your mental health, and respond thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally. Presence becomes a form of power. As your awareness deepens, you begin to cut out what drains you. You become more selective with your energy, your conversations, and your commitments. You stop engaging in unnecessary drama, pointless arguments, and relationships that constantly leave you exhausted. Not because you're cold, but because you value your peace. You understand that protecting your inner calm is essential for long-term growth. Another life-changing realization is that consistency is more powerful than intensity. Many people wait for bursts of motivation to make changes, only to burn out quickly. Real transformation happens through small, repeated actions done daily. Reading a few pages, exercising for a short time, improving one habit at a time may seem insignificant. But over months and years, these actions compound into remarkable results. You also learn that growth requires patience. There are no shortcuts to becoming your best self. Every season has a purpose, even the slow ones. When you stop rushing and trust the process, you become more grounded and resilient. Once you truly learn these lessons, you cannot go back to living unconsciously. You become more intentional with your choices. You choose growth over comfort, truth over illusion, and purpose over distraction. From that moment on, you are no longer just existing. You are living with awareness, direction, and quiet strength.